Hi, it's me again, Stephanie. I just wanted to do a video to remind myself from 2 days ago that my brother said some stuff through a text that, to me, my opinion is very terrible. I told you guys before that the things that are said to me or have been done in the past or said in the past have been terrible. And this all stems back from when my mom and dad got divorced. And it's 2017 now. It was just 16 yesterday, but my mom and dad got divorced in 1996. So you're looking what? 2006, 2000, that's like 20 years ago. Now you could say almost 21, but really you'd have to get to October 12th, 1996 or something. Okay, see, the date sticks out so clear when my mom and dad, well, she filed for divorce. It wasn't actually final until probably it was like 2000 or 2001. But I wanted to make this video because my brother said some terrible stuff to me, and I would really like to have the text in front of me, but they're on the phone that I'm recording on. But it's just very terrible. Um, how do you explain it? But I really think, because the groups I've been in studying and everything about narcissism, I really think this is a serious case because I dealt with it with my dad already. And my dad's more of that covert narcissist where he hides things and does things secretly and everything. And now that my brother has lived with him all these years, my brother's always been with my dad, and my brother should be 40 now. He turned 40. He's never lived on his own, anything like that. He's always lived with my dad. So I'm noticing now my brother with the narcissism, he's more overt. Like he'll just come out and say it. And I think, seriously, from living with a covert narcissist, you then become that overt one. And that's what I'm worried about myself. I only lived at home till I was 16 and then I was kicked out. Thank God, I guess, you know, because I got a lot in myself right now that where I feel like I'm more overt or let's see, but maybe we're talking narcissism, but maybe I can just say I'm an extrovert instead of an invert. I used to invert things in me, keep them inside and this and that. And then when the anger comes out, I think it comes out that extrovert, more aggressive or passive aggressive type. Because I've went to counseling before, and I've known others that went to counseling, and they want you to be more assertive, but they don't want you to be aggressive. So there's that fine line there that makes it really hard, to control yourself, especially when you've been abused or treated unfairly or stuff has been said to you that's like really bad. And I mean, some of the things that were just said to me was that I blame you. This is coming from my brother. I blame you for mom's death. And he also blames me for my dog dying that he gave me. He gave me a puppy, and he also gave my mom a puppy, and he gave some neighbors in my mom's trailer park a puppy, and he also was going to give my aunt one, but then she backed out. He had like 5 puppies, and he gave them all away, but he kept one himself. Um, the dogs were really hyper. They were really hard to control, and I didn't know this. So when I have an autistic son, a disabled boyfriend, I got problems myself. I never thought that it was a lab. I never thought a lab would be that hyper, but you never know what the mix is. I mean, so anyway, one day I was coloring my hair, and the dog constantly needed attention. He was very high strung attention dog, and that's hard. But I didn't know that. I have a son with autism, and I didn't know that it would become a problem. But I mean, I had it all set up. I barricaded the backyard with wood logs. My boyfriend did it too. wood logs all around the fence at the bottom. We put wood up in the corner of our house to where you could get down the side of a house where you would cut the lawn and you only have like two strips, not even, like a strip and a half. So it's down the side of the house about maybe 15 feet. So that was boarded off. All the logs were around every single bottom of the fence. Then by our other fence where you could get out of the backyard, we would put our barbecue in like two barbecue gas bottles. So we couldn't like jump over it, that lower part. But it was barricaded. I used to sit by the window all the time. I had my table right by the window, and I whip pop bottles out of it and stuff to keep him busy for a couple minutes. And we have another dog too that's well trained. He can go out front. He doesn't take off. Once in a while, he might go down two houses, but he comes right back. The dog, the shepherd, German shepherd that we have is totally well trained and everything, and we've had that dog through our autism 19 years. We've had that dog, and how come that one's fine? But, I'm blamed for my dog's death. My brother says when that happened, it closed the book between us. And I feel it's just an excuse to go with what he wants to feel about me because he's angry about other things. And blaming me for my mom's death, I didn't even question that when he wrote it through text. I'm like, I had already felt guilty about that maybe I could have been there more for her, which I was. He hasn't been. My brother would never visit her. He would never even, once in a while he'd go stop by, and it was like, if she didn't answer the door right away or the phone or whatever, or she'd answer it a couple seconds late, he's like, oh, well, I was going to stop by, but then, oh, well, no, I'm not going to. It's like real, like, what, controlling and a narcissistic type. I don't know. I got to check into that Machiavellian type too, but I did before, but I can't. There's just so many things, and I want to make a video of this so I can remember what happened. That's what I'm doing now, because the reason why I'm doing the videos and remembering what happens is because a lot of people will come later on and they'll accuse you of doing something that you didn't do. And sometimes you could get, how would you say it, really, really confused. You think you're the psychotic one. You think you are to blame, if you're that sensitive person or naive, trusting, whatever. But I've gotten out a lot of that. I don't trust easily and stuff like that. I put it to the test, and I've learned a lot from dealing with these type of narcissistic people. So I wanted to make the video to remind me of the text 2 days ago, which should have been maybe the 30th of December of 2016. I had texted my brother on Christmas, which he thinks I'm wrong for that. But I texted my brother on Christmas to tell him the autopsy results of what happened to my mom. And I have tried to text him before this, so don't think that I just did it on Christmas, because that's what he's using it against me now, is that I called him on Christmas at 8 p.m. and blah, 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 which he didn't answer, and he didn't even write me back, because I texted him also. And here it comes the 30th, which is 5 days later, and he still didn't respond. That's what he does. He thinks by not responding or not writing me back or not answering his phone in some crazy way, he can control me. And what he does is he waits for me to get pissed off. He wants me to blow. I've dealt with this with my dad. My dad's like 61 right now or something. My brother's like 40. I've dealt with this stuff with my dad for many years, and I've got to see the pattern. And then when I see it coming out my brother, it's so familiar to me. Where it's, oh, when it happens, it's like this evil thing. I had a lot of things with my dad too that he tried to push through the text with me. See, he won't talk on the phone. I've said this before. My dad won't talk on the phone near my brother. They won't face people. they like to do it through text or phone messages, so then that way they can think about what they're going to say, have their pre-planned, pre-worded script, you know. My dad had even told me before, he told me to have a how do you say that? Like pre-plan, have a built-in excuse. That's what he told me. Always have a planned built-in excuse. That's what my dad told me. Now, it's interesting, you know, a planned built-in excuse. Sure, sometimes that would work, but I mean, when you continuously have that planned built-in excuse thing, people start to catch on, and that's what happened to me. And I just want you to know that it's very hard dealing with these narcissistic type people, or controlling or covert, overt narcissist. It's very hard to deal with this. And I want you to know not to get down on yourself. They'll do anything they can. It's like a control. They'll do anything they can to just bring you down, and it's going to be hard. So find some friends that are familiar, like in narcissism or something like that, because I don't want you to feel like you're crazy. I went through that many years, and then they have that word. Look up dissociation, not disassociation. It's dissociation. DISSO. DISSOCIATION. But just check it out. Look up covert, overt narcissist. Just look up narcissist. Look up psychopath, because there's a lot of things that I could tell you, like I was saying, that are so freaky, and what my dad said to me, now my brother. But look up some of these things, and trust yourself and know that you're just up against something that is not normal. Thanks for watching. I'm doing these videos for self-help. I'm doing it to help myself. Up until maybe 2 weeks ago, I didn't have medical insurance for like 8-9 years, so I couldn't actually go get help. I've been in counseling before, back to like 10 years ago, but I didn't know what was going on, and so I couldn't really explain what was happening. But now I do. Now I can explain what's happening. I just now got the medical. Maybe I will get into counseling, but I have a very busy life with my autistic son and my disabled boyfriend of 23 years. We should be married, but like I said in my other videos, you'll know why we aren't if we needed help through the state. So, but thanks for watching. I appreciate all your comments below, maybe about what you dealt with narcissism or psychopaths or covert, overt, extrovert, introvert, whatever. I thank you for watching, and have a great day. God bless.